Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Online Creators Association's Thursday night live stream, where both of the other hosts tonight are having technical difficulties. So I'm just going to vamp for a little bit. If anybody is here and in chat, please say something, because things to work off of will make it easier for me to keep talking and keep providing things to be watching while I wait for the other people to get here. We've got an event coming up this Saturday that we're very excited about. We're going to be hosting it right here on the TOCA Twitch channel. It is a live stream actual play game featuring several D&D TikTokers playing iHunt, which is a game about monster hunters in the gig economy. I'm super excited. I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, they're playing monster hunters who use an app to get jobs to go and hunt monsters. And they're raising money for Equality Texas. And they were looking for a stream to host it on, and we were really happy to be able to share ours. So yeah, that's happening this Saturday. It's already in our calendar, and I am going to go to our Twitch calendar right now and grab the link to that. Because I'm pretty sure that I will be able to link you guys directly to a thing where you can set up a reminder for it. How do I navigate to our stream schedule from the live? There we go. Copy link, and what time it is. It is at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific, and it should be 3 hours long. Hey, Arget.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream. So yeah, I was just going over the live stream coming up this Saturday. Very excited about it. Monster Hunters, D&D TikTokers. Let me actually pull up the list of people who are going to be on it. And by list, I mean the InDesign file I have open that I'm working on with all of the titles. So Chaya Ella, Butterfly Astrophysics, playing Vanya. Laura Tutu playing Annabelle Sinclair, that's Tutu Who on TikTok. Sphinx Akasha playing Circle DM playing Angelo, and Nicole, a trans tiefling, playing Gail Vendevel. And the host is Diana Gata, Super Dylan. So a lot of people I follow, and I'm very excited about watching them play. I did not set up my phone to be streaming to TikTok right now. We'll worry about that in a little bit. Arget, how are you?
I am okay. New job has me overwhelmed. I've known about virtual machines forever. I've never actually really dabbled in them, and now that's basically all of my job. Let's see. I'm clicking through some things also because I am very on time and with it today.
My partner actually just sent me a text like an hour ago that I think might be worth pulling up. It's an NPR article about the TikTok moderators suing TikTok. And I'm just going to pull that in and see whether it has any new information. We haven't talked about this in a little bit, so worst case scenario, we're going over material we've already shared on here, but best case, we've got new news to talk about. So yeah, former TikTok moderators sue over emotional toll of extremely disturbing videos. Published today.
Okay.
When Ashley Velez accepted a job last year reviewing videos for TikTok, quote, "We were told we would be on the front line of defense for protecting children from seeing violence," she said. But the Las Vegas mother of two boys, ages of 8 and 17, said she was stunned when she discovered what the position entailed. "We would see death and graphic pornography. I would see nude underage children every day." Why did my brain insert the word large there? Well, as I said, I would see people get shot in the face, and another video of a kid getting beaten made me cry for 2 hours straight. Velez worked for TikTok from May to November 2021, one of some 10,000 content moderators worldwide who police videos on the platform making sure it remains an endless feed of lighthearted content rather than a cesspool of violent and disturbing videos. So this is some information we didn't know. NPR appears to have gotten a fairly hard number about how many moderators TikTok has.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Let's do some quick math. If we've got 10,000 moderators, let's assume they all work 40 hours a week. So that's times 40, it's 400,000 hours, times 60 is 24 million TikToks that they have time to watch, assuming they work straight 8 hours and all of them work 40 hours a week. I mean, I think those assumptions probably even out with the assumptions we're making about
So, and not to completely poke holes in that, but knowing that their report system operates on two different levels, one of which are reports that are for non-video content, such as profile violations, like a username, display name, a bio, all of that good crap, links, because those should take considerably less time than video content. So, if I don't know, maybe divide it in half.
I mean, should they take less time than?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, 1,000 times more.
I
To
don't
just kind
understand why
of
they would.
look at something and read it, because again, they said that, or in the other interviews and whatnot that were posted online, some of which are removed now, when you submit a report saying that this username is inappropriate, a moderator out there gets a report saying this username has been reported as inappropriate, address it. And they have a few seconds to look at it and address it.
Mm.
And then that report may or may not get sent to a second person, which again, this sounds very Mechanical Turk to me. And then they also take a look at that username and make the determination. So they are spending less than a minute just looking at a username and determining whether or not that's okay or not, versus if a video is reported as inappropriate content, you absolutely are spending at least 15. Well, what's the smallest amount a person could actually post? It's actually 5 or 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So a person's watching at minimum 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And then now they have all the way up to 10-minute videos. It sounds to me that at least for the 15 and 1-minute videos, that it doesn't seem to have because you can't really report the timestamp. You can only report the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder about that also with the 3-minute and 10-minute videos, is that, I mean, you have to spend 3 to 10 minutes trying to scrub through the video, especially if because if it's a report against something in the text, again, they could probably read through the text pretty quickly, unless it is one of those 10-minute videos, especially, or somebody like you, no offense, who just packs in as many words as possible in your 1-minute videos. And they could probably identify by the captions, trying to read through the text. But if they're trying to determine something visually, again, there's a video specifically that keeps coming to mind over and over again of Kavatica pointing out that in the first 2 seconds, there was a hate symbol on a person's wall in the background. AI can't report that. Your submission of the report cannot say, well, there is an item in the background that is inappropriate. So the people who are watching it, they don't have time, or they're not being notified of the target of the issue. They just know that there is an issue somewhere in that 5 to 10-minute window to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have to try to watch it again, if they can watch it again, that's so much time sunk in just trying to see what the issue is. So text way faster than video always.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Cecilia. Have you been watching, or did you spend all that time troubleshooting and need to be caught up?
I probably need to be caught up. I was not watching. My Wi-Fi was down for reasons unknown, but it's back now.
Cool. Cool.
Anyway, what are you thinking about?
So my partner sent me a link to an NPR article that came out today. That's an update on the moderators suing.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the fact that NPR appears to have procured the information of how many content moderators TikTok has.
Bless NPR for making that public. Already.
So I was doing some quick math and got I think what was it 240,000 TikToks per week that they could realistically be covering. Arget was explaining why the number is probably smaller because some of those moderators have to be dedicated to comments and usernames and
everything else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My brain went for and as well as et cetera, and then did the pedant thing where it was like et means and, why am I doing this? And then I just 404'd.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is like, what is the reasonable number of people that are actually doing video moderation?
Yeah, and I think that there's some more like thoughtful back of the envelope math that we could do that I am less capable of while I am also trying to live stream.
And that's the other reason why I was like, we kind of can't, because if let's go ahead and again, we'll say maybe there is potentially up to 3 categories of moderators, maybe 4 actually off the top of my head. So like maybe there are some people that are like, okay, here's all the text-based stuff. Go blast through all of these username, name, bio, links, and comments. Because again, I know that they're going to go through faster, especially again because that one interviews they said, I review it and then it gets sent off to another moderator. And if another moderator or 2 confirms it, then that action actually goes through and passes. So, and then there's people who review videos. And again, keep it in mind, like it's maybe the shorter version. So like stuff 3 minutes or under with the new stuff. So again, you're spending maybe 5 to 10 seconds looking at a text-based report versus you're spending at least 5 seconds up to 3 minutes on the video-based reports. I have a feeling that they probably have somebody that does it, may do videos only, especially if they are doing that like division of labor, because if some person says, I want the text-based and somebody says, I only want the video content. One of the
things that's come up in the interviews that moderators have done with news sources is that there are separate moderators for computer or like bot identified content, like content that the algorithm thinks is problematic versus reported content. Like those are different categories of moderator. We don't know, like I don't believe they said whether like within those categories a given moderator handles both text and video or like it's further subdivided there, but we do know there's at least 2 categories and that the division line is whether or not a human reported the content.
Arget, you muted.
I still feel like that there should be, if it doesn't exist already, eventually, if not already, there would have to be yet another category for the people who need to actually try to scrub through the 3-minute, or at least probably both the 3-minute and the 10-minute content, because again, that is, you may need to watch through the entire video because as far as we know, especially because you cannot apply an additional comment to kind of point them in the correct direction. Where in this 10-minute video is the problem? Is it at the 9-minute mark, the 2-minute mark? How many times do you need to maybe rewatch it?
Does that need to be a different kind of moderator as opposed to a moderator just getting different lengths of video throughout their shift?
On the surface, no. But again, just knowing how moderation stuff works, because they want to be able to track those metrics. If somebody, it's just as we don't want to be bombarded by 10-minute videos on the FYP because it's so drastically different amount of time to invest in a video versus a short one. It's that same kind of thing with the metrics on the back end for how they're logging their moderator actions, is because if you're, if this person down here who is potentially only reviewing username, profile, et cetera, the text ones that are like zippy quick, you're going to have an expectation of getting, let's say 20 to 50 interactions per hour. On a 10-minute video, there's no way. There's no way a person could watch, 10 to 50 interactions of 10-minute videos in an hour. It's not possible.
Right, but like if there's just one pipeline of all the content going to every moderator, then every moderator's standards will be set on the expectation of how many you should accomplish if you're getting like a stochastically approximate like average of each type of content based on what is being uploaded.
Because again,
the point that I feel like we need to say is a 15-second video or less requires a hell of a lot less of like a grasp on the English language than a 10-minute video does.
that too.
I know the one 10-minute video that I uploaded because I wanted to be a menace was under review for 30 full minutes before it actually went anywhere.
Yeah.
So I am willing to bet that like 3+ minute videos have their own category of mod.
I mean, do we think I still think like it might not be its own category of mod. It might be much lower bar for it going in line for someone to review. Because I feel like 30 minutes is a realistic amount of time for it to take for a 10-minute video to get watched by one person.
Yeah. Whatever they're doing. We don't. But that number feels little.
Yes.
It feels little to me. I want to talk to other people who like know more about like large corporations doing mass moderation. I think we've got some people we can reach out to about that who might be able to say like, is this an insanely small number, or like, are we unaware of ways that this can be like efficient? Although I guess sort of let's keep reading the article, because I imagine one of the points might be, hey,
that's fair.
And I was going to say also, like, separately from that, at some point, we should probably try to have like a big moderator, like sit down, get together, chat about this kind of stuff, because there are so many different things that could be at play here.
So now Velez and another TikTok moderator, Reese Young, have filed a federal lawsuit seeking class action status against the video sharing app and its parent company, ByteDance. The Chinese-owned app is the envy of Silicon Valley social media giants and has more than 1 billion monthly active users. Its success depends in no small part on the work of moderators like Velez, who toil behind the scenes to scrub TikTok of distressing content before the masses see it. While the plight of moderators is often absent from fights over what content social media platforms allow and what they ban, there is a growing movement to hold tech giants accountable for the welfare of these workers on the front lines of that debate. On Thursday, Velez and Young sought to do just that. Velez, quote, somebody has to suffer and see this stuff. The lawsuit accuses TikTok of negligence and says it broke California labor laws by allegedly not protecting Velez and Young from the emotional trauma caused by reviewing hundreds of highly toxic and extremely disturbing videos every week, including videos of animal cruelty, torture, and even the execution of children. Underage nude children was the plethora of what I saw, said Velez, who now works as an independent contractor for vacation home rental site Boutique. People like us have to filter out the unsavory content. Somebody has to suffer and see this stuff so nobody else has to. According to the suit, Young and Velez were exposed to an unsafe work environment because TikTok did not provide adequate mental health treatment to help deal with the anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress associated with reviewing graphic videos. Young and Velez were both contractors, not employees of TikTok. Young worked for the New York company Atrium. Velez was hired by TELUS International, a publicly traded Canadian tech firm. The suit says TikTok and ByteDance controlled the day-to-day work of Young and Velez directly by tying their pay to how well they moderated content in TikTok's system and pushing them to hit aggressive quota targets. Moderators like Young and Velez are expected to review videos for no longer than 25 seconds and decide with more than 80% accuracy whether the content breaks one of TikTok's rules, according to the suit. To meet quotas, the suit alleges moderators often watch multiple videos at once. Young and Velez were allowed 2 15-minute breaks and a lunch hour over a 12-hour workday. If they took any other breaks, they risked losing pay, the suit says. That amounts to punishing the content moderators by making them extremely ill-equipped to handle the mentally devastating imagery their work required them to view without any meaningful counseling or meaningful breaks during their work, wrote lawyer Joseph Saveri and other attorneys for the plaintiffs of the suit. A TikTok spokeswoman declined to comment on the lawsuit, but said that the company strives to promote a caring working environment for our employees and contractors. TikTok moderators, according to company, are offered a range of wellness services so that moderators feel supported mentally and emotionally. TELUS International spokeswoman Jennifer Bach said in a statement that it has a robust resiliency and mental health program in place to support all our team members, as well as a comprehensive benefits program for access to personal health and well-being services. Velez said she did set up a meeting with a TELUS counselor who spoke to her for 30 minutes. They saw so many people that it didn't seem like they had time to actually help you with what you were suffering with, she said. It would have been nice if they would even acknowledge that the videos were causing a problem in the first place. The TikTok suit comes after a $52 million Facebook settlement. Social media companies, including TikTok, use artificial intelligence to screen millions of videos for disturbing content, but the technology can't catch everything, so human moderators remain critical to keeping the platform safe. So that's interesting. The way that they're putting it here, it sounds like they're saying that the bots do just remove stuff that doesn't make it to human moderators sometimes.
Yes,
Which
that's been a
TikTok has repeatedly denied.
To the Washington Post's face.
I thought they did say that does happen though, because there's a lot of stuff that gets like auto removed, but then if a person appeals it, that's when it actually gets to the moderator.
That sounds a lot like it is not the case that the bots never make a decision without a human involved.
Yeah.
Yet people can only act so quickly. When moderators are pushed to act too fast, they also are tasked with analyzing multiple aspects of each video, the suit states. There are now 100, quote, tags, up from 20 tags, that moderators can use when indicating a video violates a rule, such as a tag that flags a video as showing a minor's torso. And moderators are also expected to analyze what's happening in the background of each video. It's unclear when exactly the new moderation standards went into effect. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, TikTok has been under new pressure as it attempts to stay ahead of a flood of misleading videos about the war. In the suit, lawyers for Young and Velez argue that their clients' psychological trauma stems not just from videos that are violent, but also from those that spread conspiracy theories, including recordings suggesting that COVID-19 pandemic is a fraud or denying the Holocaust ever happened. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has developed best practices for content moderators who are exposed to images and videos of exploited minors. Those measures include blurring parts of an image or superimposing a grid over the image to lessen the potential emotional impact of on the people reviewing it. The suit says that although TikTok is one of the center's corporate partners, along with Google and Facebook, it has not adopted the group's recommendations, instead focusing on hitting review quotas above all else. The spokeswoman for TikTok did not return a request for comment on the allegations. Cecilia, it looks like you're raising your hand.
I'm just infuriated by the fact that they're like, yeah, we'll partner with you. We will do absolutely nothing. But we like being able to list ourselves as a partner.
Yeah, I get that. My feeling is I'm not sure, like, if the algorithms aren't good enough to catch this stuff, then how are they going to be good enough to successfully blur this stuff?
I would rather it overcorrect than undercorrect.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lawyers representing Velez and Young sued Facebook several years ago on behalf of thousands of moderators who said they experienced emotional distress on the job. In May 2020, Facebook agreed to settle the suit for $52 million. Individual moderators who were part of the class action were eligible for at least $1,000, depending on the severity of their emotional disorders related to their Facebook moderation work. The same lawyers filed a similar suit against TikTok in December on behalf of moderator Candy Frazier. It was dropped last month before a settlement could be reached, after her lawyers say she was fired.
I'm still not surprised by any of this. And it's, again, there is just way too much context that I can never even really express to say how unsurprised and how normal every single piece of this is.
So I actually, while we were sitting here, went to my good friend Professor Google and looked up a couple of stats about Facebook's number of moderators and YouTube's number of moderators. Facebook has about the same amount, 10, 15,000 in there. MIT did do a study to say like what would actually be an adequate number for Facebook. And they said it was about 30,000. And they needed to be majority in-house. Right now, Facebook's majority is outsourced. YouTube has 10,000. A good chunk of that was in-house. COVID-19 changed that. They laid off a lot of their workforce. They were relying a lot more on auto moderation. their number of removed videos went like way sharply up, and they rehired everybody. And it's sort of gone back to normal levels that they would expect. But like YouTube saw the problem, said like, oh no, and fixed it. That is still a low number to me in my head.
I'm not so sure about Facebook but with YouTube, do also keep in mind, like I was mentioning before, with reviewing video content, they do allow for you to say, this is the exact second where the problem occurs.
Exactly.
So that I am actually not surprised that their numbers are so low, specifically because of that.
And you can also send screenshots, right?
I think in some cases, but not all cases. I haven't had to report a lot on YouTube.
That might be a YouTube days of old feature that I just like have not registered as changed because I haven't had to report anything in a million years.
Yeah. Because I have like 10 creators that I still follow on YouTube, and they never post problematic content, so it's not I know that
it's dwindled. I get like once monthly 2-hour long documentaries from people, and that's about it. But like, yeah, it just I cannot express enough. We have a demand. It seems so specific, but we have a demand on our website about allowing users to screenshot and add a comment again to the reports. I don't understand why they've made so much extra work for themselves.
Exactly.
I don't understand what the impetus was. Were they feeling like people were taking too long to read them or evaluate it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like it's creating much more work.
I also, so many other companies out there, be they a social media company or just like any general company, like if you make a report to Google, it can take a screen cap of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So that it's not you just uploading whatever, because believe me, when I worked at a place where a person could freeform upload more porn,
I know,
more violence, more everything awful that you don't want to see. So by limiting it to that, to say like, okay, so I want you to send a screen cap of this exact thing that I'm looking at so that you're not getting more freeform bullshit. That is such a powerful tool. And TikTok is not doing that at all. And again, why? Why are they trying to reinvent the wheel always with everything and not using things that even just a little bit, even if they want to put their own flair on it?
I feel like in this case, it's less reinventing the wheel and more not having wheels.
They don't know the wheels exist yet. Okay,
they are dragging this pallet across the ground and saying, why isn't this easier? I don't understand how everyone else is getting over there so fast.
Beautiful. But yeah, no, this is my worst case scenario, that it is a lot of their moderation is very Mechanical Turk style, that they're just having people, if 2, 3, 4 people all agree yes, no, then it pass fails appropriately as they all agree on. And then if there's any kind of doubt, what happens then? Which again, that could just be like, oh, okay, so because it wasn't a pass, we're going to go ahead and fail it. Or because it wasn't a pass and it wasn't a fail, is it then getting sent up to somebody else? Or does it get requeued again until it does pass the threshold of pass fail? Which explains a lot of the inconsistencies as well.
Yeah. I don't, all of this isn't a nightmare.
Yes. That's being gentle, honestly.
I know. The other thing that really has me upset is this concept of a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
That's
way too much.
That's insane.
And again, especially for video content, because you have to try to analyze what is being said, what is being implied by any kind of body movements, in addition to addressing, is the person in the video doing appropriate or dressed appropriately and all that good stuff too, plus whatever is going on in the background. And any additional text that's added to that too. You've got emojis, you get, like people post eggplants all the time for very valid reasons. But if a moderator is expected to take that into context and make decisions too, that's also more context that they have to both learn, and then there's just too much.
It's too much.
Fucking cat.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm so looking forward to cat-free.
Oh my God.
No, it's Alice's. It's not yours. I can't hear your cats.
No, your cat. Isn't the cat?
No,
not
Watson's cat.
Okay.
Alice's cat.
No, I know it's not your cat. I thought that the cat. Never mind. I'll later.
I was just gonna say I'm tired coming home from my set, what is technically a 7.5 hour day, because I take an hour lunch break.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, you said that MIT said Facebook needs 30,000, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my first thought when you said that was, surely you mean 60,000, because the work shift needs to be 8-hour days, and they need to be getting less done during those shifts.
Exactly. But they're working with like 10 to 15,000 now. So if they doubled their workforce,
then it would be like possibly achievably good quality moderation.
Yeah. I think the so. MIT, I couldn't sit here and read the whole MIT study. But the gist of it seemed to be, this is the point where it's passable. So like the answer is like, 60,000 would probably be a great number, because then everybody would have like normal human rights as a moderator. And they could work a regular shift and go to something immediately after every single shift where they get to decompress with somebody there,
Yeah. So 60,000 plus 10,000 therapists.
Yes.
Exactly.
10,000 therapists that are not contractually obliged to say Facebook is fine, actually.
The other thing with Facebook specifically is they give their users more control over removing content on their behalf.
Yeah.
Versus TikTok is just like, well, for the longest time, I know that they've started to give some of the comment removal situations an opportunity to be addressed. But again, we also have the problem of, if somebody blocks in either direction, the creator does not have control over removing the content still. Like, you should still be able to see, like, if somebody has you blocked, if
you block somebody, it should delete your comments on all of their videos.
Exactly. Yeah. If you, the creator, block somebody else, all of their comments should be nuked. At least.
Like, other way around. Like, if I block Cecilia, all of my comments should disappear on Cecilia's videos.
Yeah.
And that's just it. It disappears from Cecilia's view. It doesn't disappear from my view and everybody else's.
Right, no. When I say disappear, I mean be deleted.
It should be.
It should be. Yes, it should be. Correct.
No. The thing that feels like vaguely significant to me is that when you have like a mutual who posts a friends only video, and someone within that friends only section has you blocked or you have them blocked, you also can't see their comments. And I feel like that is like some mechanism of how this comment system works, where it's just, if we keep people from seeing it, it'll be fine. They just can't see each other ever.
Yeah, standard TikTok solution to all problems.
Yeah.
I do want to roll back a little bit to what I brought up earlier about the like mosaic guideline thing, and you saying that we would prefer them to overcorrect rather than undercorrect.
That's not on a user end. That's on a moderator end.
We're talking about just like an algorithm mosaicing a video before showing it to the moderator.
Yeah.
We, as an organization that represents content creators, need to we need to care about the well-being of the moderators. Super important. I am 100% on board for that. We also need to be caring about the like fairness and like fair treatment of our content when it comes to moderation. And I can imagine very easily a lot of scenarios where content would look rule breaking under a mosaic that an algorithm might think goes there.
This is fair. That is very fair. I don't know what the solution is because
yeah, no, I mean, I think
experts in this, but I do think the organization publicly stating this is what we recommend and TikTok not following those recommendations when everyone else is very
anyone else?
Yeah, because they partner with Google and Facebook.
It's the article says that TikTok partners with Google and Facebook and that TikTok has not adopted the group's recommendations. It doesn't say that Google and Facebook did.
My Facebook connection that I'm not going to name on stream will confirm that this is true. That Facebook probably does overcorrect for this.
Okay, so this is an implemented solution at other companies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And his opinion is that like it happens way too often and they need to toggle the system and it needs to be better. But since their lawsuit, Facebook has been cautious in weird ways.
I love that. That's so accurate though.
Because it's like they're not like hiring more people. They're not expanding. They're not trying to get these people in-house. They're not doing things that they probably should be doing. They're just like, how much more could we automate this before we have to give up and hire people is basically the gist that's happening there. Which is
that's how it's always been.
How it's always been and always will be.
Stuff. Yeah, I know. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It's been 20 years at least, roughly. And it hasn't changed even a little bit. Moderation does not bring revenue in. Therefore, we must invest as small amount as possible because we are always stealing from somebody else's profit in order to maintain this. But again, hello, if nobody's staying on your site because it's so full of bullshit, then they've got no job anyway. So let's just pay the people and move on with it. And it sucks. So
right, but the problem is like people will stay on the site because it's not full of bullshit if the moderators are being used as like human sacrifices to prevent the bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, I agree with that. Nobody looks at it that way. The suits don't look at it that way. All they look at is metrics. And they're like, I don't care that you just saw the most horrific horror porn you've ever seen in your entire life, and you will be scarred for life because I didn't see it, so it doesn't exist. And no, don't show it to me because I don't want to see it.
I agree that the suits think of it that way. That is absolutely the problem.
Come on. What are you doing? Hi. Wow. We're being very loud this evening.
And like the way that the suits need to see it is, wow, a lot of our customers care about this. We should be worried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the thing that I always tried to say is like, okay, wait a second. You don't want to put money into the moderation team because again, that whole putting the onus on the person viewing whatever it is, not even both as users and as moderators, to saying that like it's just deal with it, just block it, just move on. It's like no, that's like a weird kind of victim blamey like situation there. And it's really difficult to get that information across to people and like tell them that and like help them like really understand the scope of the problem because they're never ever looking at it from the correct point of view. And they also say, don't show me more proof. So it's like.
But I think like also there's another angle that we could talk about here, which is the thing that I suggested during my talk at ASU, which is specialized moderation groups pursuing like tactical methods to not just handle the bad content as it comes up, but target and disempower the individuals and groups that produce a disproportionate amount of problematic content.
Yeah.
Small enough. I will never quite understand the hesitancy around like disempowering people with like Hitler as their profile picture. And the network,
Right.
because the networks of these people, it's very easy to see like who is connected to who.
Yes.
Because I will sit there and I will block entire networks of people that all seem to know each other and tag each other into comments so that they can go and flood that person's comment section.
Yep.
I don't quite understand why those people are not targets in some way.
Oh, from a moderator standpoint, in this particular case, because people are not allowed to like look at those kinds of networks and connections, they very legitimately don't know that they exist. And again, it's that whole don't find the problem, just deal with the
right. But going back to the point that I made in the ASU talk, why is there not a team whose job is to know, like, find out which of those people exist and target them?
Because of money, always.
How could it possibly be more expensive to eliminate the people who are causing the problems than to just keep dealing with the problems that those people cause?
I think me dragging my platform with this rope is perfectly fine the way it is. It's maintenance of status quo. It's what I'm dealing with at my job as I am trying to leave. Is people establish systems and then they just want to sit in the systems they have established. Yeah. No one wants to take on the sheer amount of work that changing it is going to require.
So let me put it to you this way, and you can feel free to just ask me. What is the most amount of time you could imagine a person spending on one report that branches out into additional reports?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, it's a ton of time.
And I didn't go up and pull up what I said in my talk, but like by the math that I did, it would take a team of about 40 people to consistently monitor the algorithmically determined top 1,000 most Nazi accounts at any given point. And just like delete the accounts of the ones that are definitely actually Nazis.
I really love the phrase top 1,000 algorithmically determined most Nazi accounts.
Yes.
Like, thank you for that phrase. But the whole point is not like, it's not necessarily like, oh, the moderators they have need to be segmented off into doing this as well. There probably needs to be, because extremists are going to exist on every platform. They're always going to exist. They exist. We have to acknowledge they exist. And what do we do about them? It has to be its own team.
Yeah, social media companies need specialist teams whose job is to deal with extremism on the platform, and like powerful moderation tools need to be in their toolkit.
Yeah.
And like there's I don't think like literally everything that we could possibly say, the like money is going to be a legitimate answer to why companies aren't doing it, because everything that a company could possibly do costs money. But like hiring and maintaining that team would cost less than fixing the reporting system.
Yeah, probably.
Again,
yes and no, but like
it's a lot of yes, but it's always no also. And
I
hate that I know this. I hate that I know this, and I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's always no. But I think putting it into context of, at the end of the day, what will end up making them more money in the future, like what will turn the larger profit. Max, I swear to God, what will turn the largest profit is keeping as many users on the platform happy with the platform, and keeping as many advertisers on the platform happy with the platform. And that includes doing stuff like getting rid of the Nazis. Because advertisers don't want their stuff running against something that's like blatant hate speech, but it's just dog whistly enough that like it makes it past the moderators, you know?
And like, I know how hard it is for corporations to think past next quarter, but like at this point in the history of social media sites existing, we know that a company that doesn't deal with their Nazi problem is getting a New York Times article about their Nazi problem. It's just a matter of time.
We're so close. We're so close. If Taylor Lorenz wants to cover TikTok's Nazi problem, we could all pitch that to start pitching it to Taylor. Let's see what happens. She's on the platform. She uses it all the time.
The hard thing too with them is they know how to mobilize online in an alarming way, and they're always changing their own goalposts. Like I always really appreciate how History Wizard is like talking about every time he finds one, he goes, look at this profile, show me all the dog whistles you can find. And a lot of them are really not obvious. And that's the other difficult thing too, because sometimes they won't even put it in the username or the comment. It's something that's easily findable. It's just a profile picture. Because they keep learning, if I do this, I will get caught.
Oh yeah, they're constantly evolving. But that is, again, the reason why it needs a dedicated team.
It
has to be.
There are lots of people out there who professionally what they do is infiltrate and pay attention to how Nazis are strategizing on the internet. There are people who can be hired because that is their area of expertise.
Yeah.
And you only need one of those people, and that person's job just needs to be to give the team a briefing every week.
Just train them well, and have a weekly team meeting.
You could have that person. You could literally find one of those people and hire them on a contract to do an hour-long Zoom meeting once a week, and just tell them keep knowing what's going on in the meantime, and we'll pay you I don't know, a reasonable amount of money for a part-time job.
Here's the new alt-right memes, kids, and they go down the list. I don't want to say that should be. I don't think that should be a contract, because I don't think that should be a contractor. I think that should be.
I would like it to be an in-house job.
Yeah, it would never be. They'd hire a consultant.
Jobs, but realistically speaking, this effect could be achieved with one person who's contracted with all of the major social media platforms and just does the same briefing for each one of them and makes 5 paychecks.
And again, the only reason why that doesn't exist is because that would mean it's probably a government-run thing, and that everybody doesn't want the government to do that. And it blows. It could be a third-party contractor type person. Yes.
If it's one person at everywhere, that's absolutely a government. What's a government contractor?
And that's this game of moderation and content moderation chicken that all of the different companies, they're all just sitting here okay, we have to keep our own stuff in-house, because if we really get together and have a conversation, we really get together and have a conversation about this, we're going to realize that this is a nationwide and global problem. And what we really need to do is this, and that. Because here's the other fun thing. Let's say I find an account, just one account. Okay, so I ban the account. It's gone forever. But that person is okay, I'm just going to sign up for another account, keep doing my thing. Could even have
TikTok stores are MAC addresses.
And yet, how often do they actually do anything about that?
Almost never. Shit pisses me off.
Because the other thing too is that
things that they could do with the tools they have is not a reason that we can't propose that they should do those things.
But yeah, again, because they also if it's the same conversations that I've been having with people for over the time, is the other thing too. So we banned that MAC address or whatever, for example. Okay, but it wasn't actually me. It was my racist cousin Timmy who was over here being awful. Give me my Mac privileges back, and he's never allowed to use my phone again. But tough crap. How could we prove that? So it's again, it comes and again, I'm not trying to poke holes. I am just letting you know that this rabbit hole is enormous.
This is,
and I want us to find better solutions. Always.
This is their position. Their position is always going to be this.
If somebody lets their racist cousin use their phone long enough to get on the Nazi task force team's radar, I feel like it's okay for that person too.
He's never blown a dog whistle directly in my face before. Like, this just came out of
I
nowhere.
feel like
I get that
you've
that
lost-
person won't understand why they've been banned from making new accounts on that app. I don't care about pleasing them. They gave their phone to a Nazi for a month.
I know. Well, not even a month. It could even just be a day. Do you know how much a person could like do it a day, especially like put a bot on your phone or whatever too? I have ruined multiple Christmases from banning people.
Good.
And it was, again, I've had that situation. It wasn't actually me. It was my cousin Timmy that was doing all of the botting. Please unban me. I've ruined you've ruined Christmas for the whole family. I'm like, no, your illegal botting operation has ruined Christmas for the whole family. Fuck right off. Have a nice day.
I love that this is specific enough that I know you've seen it multiple times. But the fact that there have been multiple bannings in your lifetime that have come into your queue that are like, so what? I ran an illegal bot operation on Christmas.
No. No, seriously. They Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all of the Christian holidays. People are like, how dare you ban me on Easter?
Another thing that they could do is just like have somebody make a video for the official TikTok account saying, hey, if you give your phone to a Nazi and your account and all future accounts get banned over that, you should be mad at the Nazi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not TikTok, not the people who reported your bullshit. And I know. But again, people don't think that way. There are still so many people of all ages that they just don't like, they view technology as an object and they don't think of the full picture of actions and consequences the same way that they would, like, if you were an accomplice to, robbing a bank, everybody knows that you're an accomplice for robbing a bank, so shut the fuck up and take it. But if you were an accomplice in receiving botted gold on a website, that's not an accomplice. That's somebody else. You're a nice person. You're a good person at heart. And you just had no idea that cousin Timmy was like botting or being a Nazi.
Social media platforms have so much power to control the way we all think about things. We can't let them off the hook for people don't think about it that way.
Well,
so much power.
And yet the cognitive dissonance still exists. And we can't combat stupid. We can only combat so much stupid. Sorry. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's always like that. All of these digital items, all of these virtual items, all of these virtual like platforms. There is some point where a person says, you know what, this isn't reality enough. So make an exception.
Yeah, but that attitude is literally one of the fundamental problems. Like, that attitude is one of the problems that leads people to think, I can just post gallons of child porn on this site for fun.
For fun.
Yeah.
And perhaps profit.
Yeah,
and like combating that belief that TikTok doesn't count as real life.
Well, it's not that TikTok is, it's usually the users more so than.
I understand, but like TikTok has the ability to influence the way users in general think about TikTok. And like being a force for the perception of the internet as real life would be a good thing for a social media platform to be.
See, and like, yeah, that is a wonderful thought too. I like that a lot. Like, it would be great if like somewhere in the rules of guidelines, by the way, there are real permanent life consequences. So don't fuck it up. By the way, here are our guidelines also.
Like the sheer reckless abandon with which I see people posting absolutely wild shit with their full name and face on their account. Yes. I don't know. I mean, the answer is like there has to be some point where we like start understanding that like a lot of this is real life. Like, sometimes discourse isn't real fucking life, but like you're putting your face and name on these things that last.
Yeah, like I want it in the rules and guidelines. I want the guy who says stop scrolling to pop up and say, hey, reminder that this is real life and the things you comment are read by people. And I want like when you get banned over a violation for the message you get to say, hey, this affects real people. That's why we ban you over it.
I want that stop scrolling man to say, oh, wait, hold on. do not post that thirsty comment, 15-year-old who has knowledge of sexual things that you shouldn't have. Oh God.
We just
And,
manifest that account and do it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we could make, like, for the TOCA account, a stop scrolling, this is real life video.
We probably should.
I'm putting it on the project list right now. I already have it open because I added an idea for a blog post.
Thank you. Good. Excellent.
I love this conversation. And I'm like, if we want to cure a lot of the internet's ails, like auto moderator, Reddit style, really just needs to be available to all users, where comments can be like posted on their pages so that they can have much better control over that. Because if it's just the person who owns the page sending up the report instead of, because if they don't have, especially with TikTok's, thinking of TikTok specifically, if they don't have like a weighted report system or something like that too, so that if multiple reports are being submitted, you know, and like if the content creator is the one submitting the report, like if they get like 5 points behind the scenes versus some random person gets only 1 point or something like that, like stuff like that, if they don't have that stuff in place also, like it should be.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I think we've reasonably assumed for the most part, like, we assume that they have that stuff in place because it seems like report brigading works. And TikTok has repeatedly denied having that stuff in place, which falls back into the thing that I've brought up multiple times, which is TikTok routinely denies having powers that it would be wildly irresponsible of them not to have in order to avoid the implication that they're using those powers badly.
They'll do anything to dodge the accusations of like having very reasonable things in their arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they're so fucking scared. Every day. We should hire that guy. We should hire the pop-up guy. I don't know his rate.
I was going to say, like, does he actually have a name? Is he a real person, or is he also like a figment of TikTok's imagination? Oh, he's a real.
They're all real TikTokers.
So not just a paid actor. That's an actual TikTok person.
That is an actual TikTok. Those are all actual TikTok people.
I don't know who any of them are, but I also blocked that TikTok announcement.
No. Yeah, no, I've only ever seen one of them. I blocked it the first time it came up.
Yeah. No, they are actual TikTok people. And at least one of them has said, like, yeah, me doing that was a mistake.
This is the first I've heard that there's more than one of them.
Oh yeah, so there's 2 dudes. There's the wait, hold on, stop scrolling guy that appears. And then there's another guy that used to say, like, I know it's really easy to keep scrolling, and is like much closer to him and softer. And now there's a woman. And actually, I prefer her because she's being reasonable. I'll listen to her. I don't listen to the man that suddenly pops into existence. That scares me. Or the man who's like whispering to me, like, I know it's easy. No, I know. Shut up. I'm fine. That makes me defensive.
I also, S. Johnson voiceovers made one, I assume, as a joke, because I would assume that.
I appreciate his deeply, though.
I can handle.
Joke. But it was a good joke, and we liked it. Probably because, honestly, I don't think S. Johnson voiceovers would ever have the absolute lack of business sense to do something like that for TikTok that everyone universally hates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I started following, oh God, I forgot her name again. I started following somebody on here because she's a voice actor. And she has done the voice of like every commercial ever, like for forever. And I couldn't believe it because it's like she has done some of my favorite commercials, and she also was the voice of the Spotify commercial. And I was like, do you have any idea how badly I wanted to stab that woman? And now I find out it's you. I forgive you because of all of the other fantastic content you have put out, but please never do that again. That was awful.
God.
All right.
I wish I could start it with an S. I want to say like Sheila or Cheryl or something.
We're just about at the end of the stream. I want to remind everybody again that we've got a stream this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. where a bunch of D&D TikTokers are playing iHunt to raise money for Equality Texas. We are very proud to be able to host this stream. Very excited about it. And that's all I've got for you tonight. I'm not going to do the whole Patreon pitch because I just want you to come Saturday and donate to Equality Texas.
Yes,
There's also going to be raffles. So like there's dice giveaways. One person giving away
giveaway.
What?
We have to call it a giveaway legally.
Thank you. There's a giveaway. There no donation required to enter for people in the United States. It is only available for people in the United States. Other people can't enter. Not other people have to pay.
Nice save. I appreciate
for the U.S. Canadians pay up. You guys have universal health care.
But some of the things in the giveaway are a bunch of cool sets of dice. One person is donating a custom set of dice for the person who wins. It's a dice maker who does really amazing work. There's a crystal crown on the list. I forget what else. I know I remember dice and a crown, and I know there are other things.
I think someone was doing possibly custom commissions.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
there were some tickets to a virtual show.
Oh, yeah. And I don't remember what. We're doing a great job advertising.
There's a collection of maps.
Like D&D maps, like actual useful maps if you play D&D?
I don't know.
Cool. I assume that's what that means.
I had assumed that it was like fancy, pretty-looking maps that you could put on your walls.
You could probably put these on your wall if you wanted to. I'm just saying. It's not impossible.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that there was somebody working on images for getting images for all these that might be showing up on screen. If that's happening, it's not my department. Yeah, no, that's what's going on. Thanks everybody for coming. I am going to end the stream now. Good night.
Bye.